You want your country to succeed, and you believe that his views implemented represent a failure, predictable failure. And conservatism would represent predictable success.
Well, I don't know where what he wants to try has worked. It didn't work in the Soviet Union. It doesn't work in China. They're having to become like us in China in order to survive. It hasn't worked in Cuba. It hasn't worked. It didn't work when the Pilgrims arrived. They tried socialism. Everybody had a plot of ground. They shared what they produced. And the slackers figured out they didn't have to produce anything to get goodies. And so William Bradford said, well, the heck with this. And he said, okay, you get to keep everything you produce and you're not sharing it. So everybody had to work, really giving thanks to God for the lesson that socialism failed. It has never worked. The New Deal didn't work. You know, Hoover was president through the Depression for 1 year. FDR prolonged the New Deal for 7 or 8 years, and yet he's given credit for ending the Depression. Didn't happen. World War II and the Depression. New Deal didn't work. This is New Deal. It doesn't work. If it works, it will be the first time that it works, but it never has, and I don't think this is going to be the record breaker.
So I'm guessing you didn't get your Obama commemorative dinner plates, Rush. It's gotten so bad. Did you notice they had the commemorative Obama thong? I mean, what do you make of the, you talk about a cult-like personality, or you use the term Messiah, the anointed one. He descended from the heavens at Invesco Field. What do you make of this Obama worship syndrome, Obama mania?
Well, it is cult-like, depending on the people you're talking about. But let's examine the drive-bys, the media.
But you got to explain drive-by. Maybe one or two people have not heard you.
Drive-by media, it's as simple as drive-by shooter, except the microphones are the guns. And they drive into groups of people. They report a bunch of totally wrong, libelous stuff about people. They create a giant mess. Sometimes people get really harmed. They go out and try to destroy people's careers. Then they get in a convertible, head on down the road, and do it all over again, while people like you and me are left to clean up the mess with the truth. So I call them the drive-by media. Right. While they are praising Obama at that Grant Park acceptance night, or out in Denver, when he accepted the nomination, I listened to John Meekum and somebody else at Newsweek say, this is creepy. It's creepy. It's like he ascends after the speech and watches us watching him. They call him creepy for a few brief moments, but yet at the same time, he's the second coming. Charlie Rose and Tom Brokaw, one night on Charlie Rose's show, I think in preparation for the fact that they don't know what he's going to do either, got into a long discussion about how neither one of them know him. Well, I don't know who he is, Tom said. I don't know what books he's read. I really don't know who his role models are. But Charlie Rose is echoing the same sentiment. I'm shouting at the TV, Tom, you're at NBC. Dispatch a reporter. That's your job. Find out who he is. They didn't. They only cared. See, Sean, they've got an investment. He's too big to fail. They wanted him elected because they wanted to reassert their power, the media here, in being able to sway public opinion to the result that they wanted. So it didn't. They were going to cover up the Jeremiah Wright and all these things that give indication of radicalism in Obama. Cover that up, portray him as he wants to be portrayed, somebody who's not to be questioned, somebody who's not to be doubted. We're just supposed to accept and trust, because most of these guys came alive and came of age in the civil rights battles of the 60s. It defines who they are. They've trained the young drive-bys to look at events through the same prism. Racism in this country is the exclusive province of the left. We're witnessing racism all this week that led up to the inauguration. We are being told that we have to hope he succeeds, that we have to bend over, grab the ankles, bend over forward, backward, whichever, because his father was black, because this is the first black president. We've got to accept this. The racism that everybody thinks exists on our side of the aisle has been on full display throughout their primary campaign. So I think they've done a great job, the media has, of covering up his deficiencies. He's too big to fail, and so whatever goes wrong, blame it on Bush, blame it on, MSNBC's new life will be criticizing you and me, because they can't criticize him.
Well, what you're really saying here is you're in the, I want America to succeed. I want the right policies for America. It's not about the Messiah or the anointed one or any one individual, any wrong-handed policies that's going to take America off a course of success, which is what we've been on. And this is something you talked about for years: individual responsibility, liberty liberty, freedom. We all have choices in America. It's the antithesis of where we're headed.
Yeah, and the freedom is important to understand in the founding of our country, that it's individual, not group. You're exactly right. I'm 58 years old now, and I don't have hero worship. I have my idols, but even they had flaws that I recognized, and I didn't agree with them hands down no matter what. But I'm not into hero worship. That's what's happening here with Obama. I do care about the country. I care about what made it great. I want it to remain great and continue to be great for people that follow after me. Nephews and nieces. I don't have any kids, but we inherited a country with a great opportunity for ourselves. We want that to be passed on. The country is bigger than any one human being, any one presidency, and so forth. I think a lot of people have put that aside, or else they have assumed that this is the new direction that we're going to go, that's going to get everybody fixed and solve everybody's problem. And there will be no more pain. There will be no more suffering. There will be just contentment, utopia, and happiness.